It's really important for me to ground myself. I don't have solutions for many problems in our society and world, and I think about those problems. It just feels so hard and heavy sometimes. If I focus on here and now, that, at least for me, is really important as a human being, is just feeling purposeful and feeling capable. Ceramics it's kind of an intensive process. I learned early on not to get attached. I literally had a professor from day one tell us not to get attached to our work because things go wrong at every step. I'm gonna shape it now. And it's pretty thin, so it might collapse, but we'll see if I can avoid it. I'm Amy Sanders De Melo. I am a ceramic artist based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Wheel throwing just involves the pottery wheel. That's where I create my functional work. So cups and bowls, vases. I really appreciate that time just because it gets me a little bit out of my head and into my body and into this piece that I'm making. So I can kind of just get lost in the physics of it. Weird looking. I don't really like it. I tend to work in batches. So I try to create between 4 to 10 pieces at a time. Yeah, right now I'm centering, which this is the hardest part for most people. I grew up on a farm, so it was very active and very much about problem solving, and there's always this appeal about manual labor to me, and just knowing that you can kind of create something for yourself or for your loved one. I'm kind of a maniac because I like really thin walls, which can be my downfall sometimes. Gonna do that. Kind of it. But those textures will just leave like spaces where the glaze can pool. And in some cases, like it's just a really nice variation, like for where you can hold a piece. And then the way I do this is, I don't think the smartest way, but it works for me. After I've thrown my piece on the wheel, I let it kind of sit to the side for a couple days so it becomes leather hard. Set it down. Then you can flip your piece over and trim the foot on the bottom. My least favorite part, but it's a necessary part. I just hold it in place by putting these little lugs of clay on the side. I'll do the middle first. Yeah, it's kind of satisfying to watch the little shavings. And then I'm writing in braille on those pieces. When people first meet me, they can't tell that I have hearing loss and I lip read a lot, or that I have severe vision loss. So this was a nice way for me to kind of put that on display and say like, hey, disability looks different for everyone and blindness is a spectrum. The reason that I began using braille on ceramics is because of my vision loss, which is a result of Usher Syndrome, which is this genetic disorder that I have. That's what's causing my hearing loss, and then that's what's causing my vision loss. So very slowly, I'm just losing my peripheral vision, and it's kind of tunneling in. So I think right now I have between 10 and 15 degrees of vision left. You're supposed to have 180. That just forces you to adapt and kind of modify how you live your life continually. So when I initially started writing on my work, it was an exploration of all the feelings, all the negative feelings, all the fear, the anger, the frustration, and then an exploration of all the good things that I've learned from having this disease. Now it's kind of morphed more into meditation. So a lot of the phrases that I use are phrases that maybe people have said to me or things that I want to embody more of. Like this one says, look for beauty in the world. Those reminders, I think, help me. Once I've written the braille on it, then it goes through its first firing. Basically, that just hardens the clay a bit more. It becomes like a porous ceramic vessel. And then I glaze the piece.
Red Heat is a community clay studio with a twofold kind of purpose. One, for professional ceramic artists to find community and to collaborate. And the second, just as an outreach to the general community of Tulsa for people to pursue ceramic arts. We started just with a few members, and now, we have over 45 members and a really close community of people that support each other inside the studio and outside the studio.
I do feel really lucky because I have a community space where I have access to all kinds of people from all walks of life. So there are a lot of really dynamic conversations that happen there, and we talk about anything. So that is a really wonderful way to stay connected and to feel human and to still feel connected to the works that I'm making. And then it goes through its second firing. And I like to use the gas kiln. It's a bit more atmospheric than our electric kiln. There's something going on inside the kiln that's unpredictable. Sometimes that can lead to failure, but it could also lead to something that's really magical.
Amy is a member here in the studios, but she also teaches classes, which has been really wonderful.
All right, so now I will start the kiln.
She's also one of my staff members, hired to fire kilns, help mix glazes. So she's very active in a variety of ways. It's really important to have someone like Amy because Amy is an emerging artist and is showing her work on the national level.
I had the opportunity to be a visiting artist at Pottery Northwest in Seattle. It was my first time ever doing something like this. I spent a few days in Seattle, installed my exhibition, gave an artist talk, I led a workshop while I was there. It was brief and fast and a lot of work, but it was really wonderful. After the piece had gone through the gas firing, I'm adding gold luster to the surface of the braille, and it goes through one final third firing. On this level, I have all the little tiny guys. They're just so little, and people love tiny things. Some of these I put like right on the edge of the shelf so that the flame will touch it and it'll give it that like flash of purple. But typically it would look like this without that purple. Some of them are my favorite because of the color variations that happen in the kiln, and I don't think I can ever achieve that again. So again, that kind of reminds me of life. Like, there are moments when everything's aligned just right for you to just experience the most perfect little moment, and that stays with you. And then this one's kind of fun because I wasn't expecting that. So it's just a little surprise inside your cup. I try to maintain like a good work-life balance between the studio and being at home. When there's deadlines, that kind of goes out the window a little bit, but I've really been working on gardening a lot. That's kind of been my big side project this past year. I think it's just a continuation of like my desire to have my hands doing things and working with the natural world around me, you know, going back to clay, like why I like working with clay. I think a lot about my own childhood. I didn't see other kids with disabilities. I didn't see adults with disabilities. I didn't see a lot of people of color. I didn't see a lot of immigrants like my mom. I felt kind of different. Like, I felt like I didn't quite belong here. And I guess my hope is that other children and families seeing work made by a blind, I mean, technically a deaf-blind artist, maybe they can feel comfort knowing that they could be an artist or that they could pursue something that is kind of against the norm.